means I have to stop doing that. But how? I can't. I just managed to make a mess of myself. I can get this sorted. I can get this sorted. It hurts me every time I watch old videos of me. It feels like a distant past. Like it's not even me. Some people might say she's weak, not disciplined, lazy. But I see someone in pain. Someone exhausted by food thoughts, trapped in a cycle that feels impossible to escape. She's ashamed to even look in the mirror some days. Even when she's hopeless, a part of her still believes she can get out of it. She starts over again and again and again. But she fails every single time, and she keeps it to herself. Because this struggle isn't pretty. And no one would understand. For 6 years, food controlled me. I thought about it from the second I opened my eyes to the moment I went to bed. Every morning I'd wake up and say to myself, today I'll do better. But you can guess, every time I end up in the kitchen, eating the things I swear I wouldn't touch. That life is exhausting. Food just consumes your mental space. You can't think about anything. You can't focus on your work, on your projects, and your passions. You can't be social because you're afraid there's gonna be food and you won't be able to control yourself. And you can't really trust yourself at all. For me, back then, the only way I could stop myself from eating was to not keep any food in the house. And that was a struggle. And you can't really live like that. And it wasn't just about the food. It hurt my confidence, my relationships, my joy. No one knew what was going on inside. From the outside, I looked fine. But on the inside, I was falling apart. Later on, I realized something. I didn't have a food problem. I had a noise problem. You know, that endless chatter in your head, the shame, the cravings, the guilt, that was actually running the show. That was the thing that consumed me. Because food in reality is just food. And the things you eat is very irrelevant, to be honest. Now I eat all sorts of things. I eat fast food, I eat sweets, dessert, anything, and it's not addictive. We were pushed to the idea that food is addictive, that sugar is addictive. But once you make this mental shift, you will see a huge change. When you think about it as being addictive, you're gonna feel addicted to it. But there's so many people that feel normal. They never had a history of eating disorder, that they eat all kinds of snacks and they feel okay. They don't eat the whole thing. They have a cookie or two and that's it. They're done. So how come they're not addicted? I know this behavior is very intense and it feels like there's something wrong with you. But I want to tell you that it's just the way the brain works. And all these patterns, they can be changed. I'd ask you to not think about it as a disorder because it feels like a life sentence, like you'll never get out of it. Instead, think of it as a habit. It's a very overwhelming, a very intense, deeply ingrained habit, but it can be changed. You have to look at how habits are formed and try to break that piece by piece. You can start with guilt. The way you remove guilt is by separating you from the behavior. So for example, you binge eat. Don't think of yourself as a binge eater. Think of this pattern of behavior as something that happens and you have nothing to do with it. I know we keep blaming ourselves and we say that we have no control and that we are weak, but that just harms us. And you won't be able to take action. You need to be more understanding with yourself and know that it's not you doing this, it's how you learned to behave around food. So when you separate the I from the behavior, you feel less guilty. You're not being harsh on yourself as much, you're not blaming yourself, you understand why you're behaving like this. So by removing the guilt, the cycle feels less intense. The cravings feel less intense, and you won't have that need to eat everything inside. These days, I feel completely normal around food. I don't get any cravings. I have all sorts of foods in the house. I have a snack shelf. I eat processed food. I eat sugar, different kinds of sweets. I don't feel the need to overeat. I just have food and I stop once I feel okay, and then I move on with my day. I don't think about it the rest of the day until I get hungry again. I think this is what a healthy relationship with food is. It's when you just see food as food. You don't need to control your environment, you don't need to pre-plan or think ahead what you're gonna eat. I'm making this video to show you that it's really possible to feel normal around food again. Don't believe anyone that says that it will forever be a part of you and you'll never feel normal again. It's not true. I also thought back then it felt impossible, to see myself in this place. I started to think that, yeah, that might be true. I will always have to control this part of me. But it's not true. Like, you can feel normal again. Truly. You can have your favorite foods in the house and just eat a little bit and leave the rest for later. This is possible. And this is what I want for you. And it starts with looking in your mind. Looking at what you think, what thought you have about food, what behavior, like what triggers, what's your patterns. Learn about that and just let go of those limiting beliefs that food is addictive. That's completely untrue. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next